Good afternoon and welcome to the Housing Authority meeting of May 28, 2013. Roll call, please.
For Housing Authority members Friedman,
Here.
Vinci,
Here.
Najarian,
Here.
Brazian, Quintero,
Here.
Weaver,
Here.
Chair Sinanian.
Here. Next.
Next is a report. The agenda for the May 28, 2013 regular meeting of the Glendale Housing Authority was posted on Thursday, May 23, 2013 on the bulletin board outside City Hall. Next item is approval of minutes.
So moved, and Member Friedman was absent that particular day.
That's right.
Second.
Okay, so minutes are without objections approved as submitted. Next.
Next is oral communication. There was one card submitted for the oral communications.
Yes, Herbert Milano, please.
As Mr. Milano walks up to the podium, we'll remind him that discussion is limited time is not part of the agenda. Each speaker is allowed 5 minutes. Members of the Housing Authority may question or respond to speaker, but there will be no debate or decision. And the matter may be referred to staff through the Executive Director for investigation and report.
Housing Authority Chair Sinanian, members of the Housing Authority, and staff. My name is Herbert Milano. I think I've been doing this type of presentations before the Housing Authority now for a good 11 years. But it's only during the past 7 years or so that I have been promoting and pushing for the idea of having an annual quality of life indicators report. Because that is the whole purpose of a city, is to provide quality of life for its residents. Either safety issues concerning the improvement of safety, providing water, reliable electricity, parkland. And some cities take on something else. For example, the city of Pasadena has a Department of Public Health. We don't. The city of Long Beach has a Department of Public Health. We don't. And imagine for a moment that Glendale had one. How could it be put to good use? During the budget study session, we had a situation where the incidences or calls to the EMS has increased significantly. And during a meeting that I attended a couple of weeks ago with Glendale Healthy Kids and the Glendale Adventist Medical Center, the chief of the president of the Glendale Adventist, and I believe a couple of representatives from Glendale Memorial, we're discussing the significant impact of the Affordable Health Care Act and the constraints that they're going to find with regard to their budget. And I figured, what is the role of a city with regard to that relationship with the hospitals, and how can a city assist in the process of lowering those costs if we're going to have affordable and accessible health care? And as you noticed during the budget study session, there is a significant number of calls to the EMS system as a way of people who don't have insurance to get to medical care. In other words, they are using it as a vehicle, no pun intended, as a vehicle to get their primary care physician. So now you find the city holding a significant burden as we subsidize the EMS. So in a way, we are paying for that health service in a very indirect way. As the fire department makes those calls and picks up someone who has a severe symptoms of flu, they wind up using the EMS system to the hospital. They are charged then to the various different insurance companies or public health insurance, but any deficiency is paid by the city. We help support or sustain that budget. And so that's a pertinent discussion for the city to have. How can we lower the cost of the fire department EMS system? What percentage of that could be, we could address in a different way? But there are other areas within a quality of life indicators that could tell us what is the accessibility to public parkland for X amount of population. And I've been talking about that for a long time with regard to what's the percentage of parkland or how much parkland is there per 1,000 population geographically. And then I was listening to a program on NPR having to do with the percentage of youth that are unemployed nationwide. And it's the highest it's ever been in a very, very long time. And I wonder if we ever collected that number. What's the percentage of youth in Glendale that are without a job and that want a job? I believe that the city of Glendale, from what I'm informed, needs at least 600 positions and about $1,000 each to be able to provide a summer employment. what is the impact that that would have on perhaps fewer calls from the police or fewer issues having to do with law enforcement? It could be very significant. But I don't see that as being part of our conversation. So what would it take for the city to allocate $1 million, 1,000 kids, $1,000 each, so that we can provide them with an opportunity to be engaged, to help support their families, to have spending money, to be able to get experience working? And I was wondering if not, should not that be part of the conversation? I think it is. And I think that many cities do exactly that. And that's why the city should fund on a regular basis a quality of life indicator annual report so that we can then evaluate how it is that we're spending the money and the increases that we have compared to what the needs of the community are and how we're evaluating it. I don't think that I'm asking for anything really that is that unusual except a different way of having a perception of the needs of the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Milano. Next item.
Next item is, since there's no items on the business agenda, is authority member and staff comments.
We do have staff comments today.
Yes, sir. We, as you know, recently went through our HUD audit for our Section 8 program, and we have some very good news, something that we are extraordinarily proud of, and we want to bring it to the board's attention and the community's attention. So with that, I'll ask our Deputy Director of Community Development for Housing to come on up. Peter?
Mr. Chair, members of the Housing Authority, for this happy announcement, I'm going to ask the two managers of the Section 8 program, Cindy Williams and Joseph Rodarte, come on up, and they will make the announcement.
Good afternoon, Chair Sinanian, Housing Authority members and staff. My name is Cindy Williams, and I'm a supervisor with the Housing Department. And I just wanted to report to the Housing Authority that our agency received an award from HUD a couple of weeks ago at the NARO conference on our high-performing for our CMAP last year. We're very proud of that. There's not very many agencies that do receive a high-performing agency, and we've been receiving this rating for quite a while now. And so we're very happy to announce that to the Housing Authority. We have staff here today. That's all part of this rating. It's a team effort, and we're very proud of our staff. I'll have Joseph come up and report on our HUD audit, and I just wanted to show you our award, which is it was given to us by the HUD office, Director Brockington, and it was again at the NARO conference. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
For your time.
Chair Sinanian, board members, and city staff. In addition to the high-performing designation, we felt it was necessary to make the announcement on the Housing Authority as a result of the recent HUD audit, as Mr. Ochoa had specified. With social programs taking a hit over the last 3 or 4 years financially, housing authorities have had to endure the same, had to operate underneath the same guides, and have received significantly lower funding over the last several years due to budget cuts and more recently through the sequestration. As a result, HUD has stepped up its efforts by conducting more, or asking public housing authorities to do more, and also asking them to show Congress that housing authorities are being held accountable by HUD themselves, and to identify wasteful practices for housing authorities. The recent the Housing Authority audit that we received in the month of May was a week-long, conducted by 2 individuals from the HUD local office, an analyst and a revitalization specialist, and they looked at 2 areas, program management and financials of the Housing Authority operations. In essence, what HUD was looking for was to find out the effectiveness of your program and whether you were operating underneath the operations as far as the regulations that HUD provides for you, and also to make sure that funds were being appropriated appropriately or in a fashion commensurate with HUD, with what HUD prescribes. Program management, HUD looked at activities such as waiting list management administration, termination of individuals from the program, rent reasonableness, income certification. For the financial side, HUD reviewed our internal controls, annual contributions contract, and bank reconciliation reports. those types of activities. Late last week, the Housing Authority received notification for the review, and HUD was not able to identify neither any findings nor concerns. In our closeout interview that we have, which is routine with HUD, they go over any sort of these findings or concerns that they made prior to issuing the report. And in this meeting that was conducted by HUD and management staff, they indicated to us and commended us for not only the programs that we run, but the quality of the individuals that run those programs. I stand before you today to acknowledge staff members, Housing Authority staff, and if I can ask them to stand, please. I know they're kind of hesitant, but Melina Mahmoudi, Veronica Lunn, Edgar Akopian, Victor Robles, Nick Nye, Arthur Bobolian, Harvey Plahetjian, and Sylvia Ortega, along with Peter Zovek and Cindy Williams. There are several others that obviously they're actually working right now and doing and not able to attend the meeting. But I'd like to recognize them and the efforts that they have put forth to achieve these in times such as this, when the economics are tough. And just going through the budget discussion this morning, to be able to still achieve these types of accommodations or commendations is a testament to the dedication and professionalism and determination of the staff. And I'd like to have a round of applause for them.
Thank you, Mr. Rodarte, Ms. Williams, and staff. Obviously, Section 8 program is very important for our city, and the award is a testament of the job well done. So keep up the good work. Thank you. Next item.
Next item is
I'll move we adjourn.
Second.
Adjourn.
Now you can go back to work.
You're up next.